Hello, welcome to Ohin Sports. It's another exciting weekend of football action across Europe, and today we'll be zoning in on the English Premier League. It's match week 7 of the English Premier League, and there is some exciting games coming up in the English Premier League. So we do a preview of the big games in the English Premier League. This is Ohin Sports. This is where we bring you the latest in the world of sports, discussion, analysis, updates, everything you need to know in the world of sports. Could be fun right here. Subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and share to your friends and other people so that they will know what is going on in the world of sports. My name is James Ohinbamaki, and I'll be in the driving seat. So now bringing you analysis, discussion, and updates in what's happening in the world of sports. So today we'll be doing the English Premier League preview games, match week 7. We'll be zoning in on some exciting games, some important games, or some big games that is coming up this weekend. Arsenal are in contention after beating PSG in the Champions League. Manchester City are back. Will they be able to bounce back to winning ways? Manchester United are also in there. And informed Chelsea are also in there. So let's quickly start from the game between Arsenal and Southampton. It's a big game at the Emirates. Arsenal will be welcoming the Saints, the Emirates, as they play against. Now, there are some interesting facts about this particular game. Now, Southampton's 24 Premier League away games against Arsenal are the most one-sided a team has played against another without winning the competition. So Southampton has played 24 games, 24 away games against Arsenal in the Premier League. Out of those 24 games, they've not been able to win any of them. They've lost 16 and drawn 8 of them. So that tells you that whenever Southampton travel to the Emirates to play against Arsenal, they find it very, very difficult. They've not been able to win in that one. That gives Arsenal a sort of upper hand in this particular fixture. But one interesting fact is that Southampton are also unbeaten against Arsenal in their last 3 Premier League meetings. So in their last 3 Premier League meetings, Arsenal have not been able to beat Southampton. Out of those 3 games, Southampton has won 1 at home, and 2 of those games have ended in a draw. One of those draws was last 2 seasons where Arsenal was fighting for the title, but then they lost 3-3 at home, where they lost that particular title to Manchester City. So Southampton playing against Arsenal at home, it's not been a good thing for them, but however, they will find hope in the fact that in their last 3 meetings, Arsenal have not been able to beat them. So it's a big game. And another player we need to look out for is Kai Havertz, who has scored 4 home Premier League goals in a row. So Kai Havertz at the Emirates is a beast. He has scored 4 consecutive Premier League goals at home. So Kai Havertz is one to look out for. So for the investors, you can go for Kai Havertz to score in this particular fixture. Now, on the other hand, Arsenal are also unbeaten in their last 40 Premier League home games against promoted clubs. Remember, Southampton is a promoted club. They got promoted from the Championship just last season, and they are back into the Premier League. Now, whenever Arsenal face um, a promoted club at home in their last 40 Premier League games against promoted clubs, Arsenal have not lost to any of those teams. They've won 35, and 5 of those games have ended in a draw. So that tells you how good Arsenal are great against promoted clubs. So Arsenal are likely to win these games. Now Arsenal will be without Martin Odegaard. They will be without Alexander Zinchenko. They will be without Takiro Tomiyasu due to injury. And Ben White, the right back or their defender, and Jurien Timber, they are also doubts for this particular game because of some knocks they picked up in recent games they play for Arsenal. Now, Southampton have had a poor start to the season. They are chasing their first victory this season. They have just 1 point so far in the league, and if you pick this season into context and last 2 seasons where they got relegated, Southampton are yet to win a game in their last 19 Premier League games. Yes. So Southampton, last 19 Premier League games, have not been able to win any match. So I'm tipping Arsenal to win this particular game. It looks like whenever they play against Southampton at home, it favors them. If you look at their form guide between these 2 teams, Arsenal obviously have the upper hand. They are third on the league log while Southampton are languishing in the relegation zone. So I think it's a win for Arsenal in this particular one. I predict Arsenal to win. Now let's move on to another interesting game between Crystal Palace and Liverpool Football Club. And Slot is doing something great at Anfield. His first season with Liverpool, he's on top of the Premier League, doing wonders. Now they face Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace also are yet to win a game this season in the Premier League. In the 6 games that they've played, they've drawn 3 and lost 3. So Crystal Palace are yet to win a game in there. So that tells you how this game might be easy for Liverpool. But remember, Crystal Palace are playing at home. Now, Crystal Palace have conceded more Premier League goals against Liverpool than they have to any other opponent. So in this particular game, expect Liverpool to score because among all the Premier League teams Crystal Palace have played against, they have conceded more goals against Liverpool. They've conceded about 69 goals in the Premier League against Liverpool. So obviously Liverpool will score in this fixture because they always concede against Liverpool, and Liverpool is the club that they've conceded most against when it comes to the English Premier League. Now, as I said, Ancelotti is doing a good job. Liverpool are on top of the Premier League. Now, Liverpool have won all their away games. Liverpool have won all their away games this season in the English Premier League. They beat Ipswich Town in match day one. They went on to beat Manchester United and they've beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers. All these games are away games and they've won all these 3 away games. And playing as Crystal Palace, a team that they usually beat on away grounds. And this fixture normally favors away teams, then expect Liverpool to win this particular one. Now, another important player we need to look out for is Mohamed Salah. He has netted in Liverpool's first 3 Premier League away games this season, meaning he could become the first player ever to score in a team's opening 4 matches on the road in 2 campaigns. So expect Mohamed Salah to score for Liverpool. Now let's move on to another interesting game. It is Manchester City versus Fulham. Manchester City have not have a good start. When I say they don't have a good start in their last 2 Premier League games, they've not been able to win. A lot of people are having doubts whether this season they can really move on to go and win the Premier League title. Now, Manchester City have won each of their last 16 meetings with Fulham across all competitions. The longest winning run one team has had over another in English football history. So, if you want one team that Manchester City has beaten most in the English Premier League, it is Fulham. And this weekend they are facing Fulham and it is a good omen for them. In their last 16 meetings across all competitions, Manchester City have won all of those games. Again, as I said, but one interesting thing is that Manchester City are winless in their last 2 Premier League games. They drew against Arsenal, they drew against Newcastle, and if you look at the form that Fulham are in currently, maybe Fulham could also pull a surprise against Manchester City by at least getting a point against them. And the reason why I'm saying they could pull a surprise is that Fulham themselves have made their best start to a Premier League season since 2003. So in over 20 years, Fulham this season are making their good start or they are making their best start to a Premier League season. They've accumulated 11 points so far in the English Premier League in their opening 6 games. So they are having the form of their life and facing Manchester City. Maybe they could win against them or at worst they could get a draw against them. And one interesting thing to note is that Fulham are also unbeaten in their last 5 Premier League games after losing to Manchester United in week 1 of the English Premier League. They've not lost a game. They are unbeaten. They've won 3 of those games and they've drawn 2 of those games. So Fulham they have something under their sleeves and we need to look out for them. Again, Manchester City have scored at least 2 goals in their last 17 matches against Fulham. So expect City to score a lot of goals in that particular one. Let's move on to another exciting fixture. I think that this game is the match of the weekend. Aston Villa at the Villa Park will welcome Manchester United. It is make or break for Eric Ten Hag. Yesterday in the Europa League, Manchester United took a 2-goal lead, but then FC Porto came back. Kind of goals from Pepe and also Samu Rodion, where the score was leveled at 2-2. Porto scored again, but Harry Maguire in the dying embers of the game equalized for Manchester United for them to get a point in that particular one. So they'll be coming at the back of that. But remember that United have shipped in 3 goals in their last 2 games. So they played against Tottenham at home in the English Premier League last weekend. They conceded 3 goals. Played against FC Porto in the Europa League this week and also conceded 3 goals. So Manchester United defense are leaking so much that I expect Aston Villa to score looking at their form this particular season. But another interesting thing that might keep Aston Villa from not scoring is that United have kept clean sheets in their away games this season. In all the 3 away games that Manchester United has played in, they've kept their clean sheets, especially in the English Premier League. They've kept clean sheets against away side. So they don't normally perform at home, but when they go away, they try to keep a clean sheet. So let's see how that really pans out. But remember, Manchester United are yet to win a game in their last 4 games across all competitions. They drew to Crystal Palace in the English Premier League, drew 1-1 with FC20, lost to Tottenham Hotspur by 3 goals to 0. Then they drew with FC Porto 3-3. So in their last 4 games across all competitions, Manchester United are yet to win a game across all competitions. So it's something that Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be at the Villa Park to see whether Manchester United could really win that game. Now let's move on to the Aston Villa side, and we all know the exploit that John Duran is doing. He scored in the Champions League game against Bayern Munich. He's come off from the bench in all the Premier League games, and whenever he comes onto the pitch in those games, he gives them the winning goal. So John Duran, we need to look out for him in this particular game. And Aston Villa themselves have also not beating Manchester United in their last 4 meetings. So this game is an exciting one. Let's move on to another exciting fixture. Chelsea, the Blues, the informed Chelsea will play against Nottingham Forest on Sunday. Now, after defeat in their opening game against Manchester City, Chelsea have been unbeaten since and are on a run of 3 league wins in a row. This is currently the longest winning streak in the league. Goals should be a feature in this game because Chelsea seems to score a lot. Now, the Chelsea are English Premier League top scorers this season with 15 goals, but also they've conceded 7 in the process. Now, 5 of these uh, have come at home. Now, Forest have also allowed, or they've just conceded 5 goals this Premier League season. Forest have conceded just 5 goals. Only Liverpool have conceded less. So Liverpool have conceded 2 goals in the English Premier League, whilst Nottingham are the next side to have at least not conceded a lot of goals. Do you get it? Yes. So it will be an exciting game between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. It will be a game against. It will be a game between Chelsea, who have scored more this season, and Nottingham Forest, who are not conceding a lot of goals this particular season. Now, these two sides have faced off 4 times in the top flight in recent years, but the two teams have won one each with 2 draws. So this is a dicey game for both teams. So this is how we draw the curtains down here on the preview show of the English Premier League. We did uh, a preview of the big games that you should expect this particular season. This is Ohinba Sports. Subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and share. Give me your feedback so that we can improve on our upcoming video. We'll catch you another time in another video. Stay safe.